Quiet on set. Action.
The more I fail, the more I learn. One of these times I'm not gonna fail, eventually. Hi guys, I'm Danny Souza. I'm a filmmaker. I moved out to LA after going to film and business school at the University of Miami. I think my dad was the one who first inspired me to start my filmmaking career. He signed me up for that filmmaking camp that first summer. I think he just signed me up for it because he didn't want me sitting in the house playing video games all summer. My career is still getting started and I have experienced a lot of setbacks. So far, the hardest part of my career to get through has been the strikes that happened in Hollywood last summer. That was really hard because I just graduated from college and I worked for like 3 months, and then 3 months into my life here, all these strikes happened. So all the work that I had anticipated getting was now on hold. So there was like a 6-month span when I had no work leads or I had very few. The first strike was the writer's strike. So basically the writers, they felt like, first of all, they weren't getting paid enough. And second of all, they wanted to make sure that their bosses, the producers, weren't going to replace them with AI. So AI could potentially be something that like writes screenplays, movies, and these writers wanted it in agreement with the producers that like, hey, we're not gonna replace you with AI. I think those setbacks affected me because I learned a lot about, just making money and making sure that I'm doing what I love, but also taking care of myself financially. The main way that I moved past them was just by continuing to work while I can. So while I interned and worked for free, but it got me further work. That's actually how a lot of the industry works. Even when I work for money, I will go connect with my bosses or the people who I'm in charge of, and I'll make sure I get their Instagram or I get their phone number, and we keep in touch. And then, who knows, later on down the line, maybe they'll be like, yo, Danny, you AD'd that feature that I was the DP on, and the producer of this new feature is looking for an AD, and I told him you were really good, so I want to connect you with the producer. Or say somebody's like, oh, what about we bring back this guy from our last project? And the director or the producer is like, no, they kind of had a bad attitude, they didn't seem excited. If you're not fun to be around, if you're not an enjoyable person, it's gonna be hard. It's one of those things where you're with these people for 12 hours a day for weeks at a time. The first job I ever got in LA, I was taken to a music video studio. I got to be in the studio with Christina Perri and hear her singing and just hear her voice. Like, it gives me chills just thinking about it because she is so good, and I couldn't believe I got to be like right there. When I was a kid, I had a tendency to get really angry or really sad all the time. There were certain movies that I watched and it made me realize that this was an outlet for me to express that if I wasn't able to do it with my words. Filmmaking is something that has meant a lot for me. It's what I really love doing, being able to express myself in this way. Even though it's really hard to make it in the industry, I wouldn't really rather be doing anything else.